You're listening to the Estheticians Earning More podcast with Brittany Hageman, episode number 176.
Do you want to make $100,000 revenue in your esthetician business? If so, I would love to show you how. I want to invite you to coach with me in my one-to-one coaching program. It's completely customizable. The way that it works is we sit down and figure out what you've been doing in your business that hasn't been working, and then make a very specific plan that I help you follow over the course of 6 months to get it done. We meet weekly for 30 minutes and discuss exactly what went well that week and we're going to do next week, whether it's your pricing needs to be raised, or you need to have boundaries with your clients, or if you need to learn how to sell skincare, or you need to niche down and you're doing way too many services and not making money, or all of the above. Whatever the issue is, whatever the reason is you're not making money, we'll figure it out together and we will grow your business into a really profitable business that's sustainable, that you love, and that really helps people. I cannot wait to be your coach and to work with you. To learn more, go to the link in the show notes. And with that, on with today's episode.
Happy Monday and welcome back. I'm so excited to be back here with you today. I want to talk about something that is really common in esthetician businesses. It's something that I've experienced. It's something that a lot of my clients experience. An esthetician runs. It's also just really common for human brains. So I don't want this to come across as like I'm shaming you or judging you or anything about it. I just want to kind of bring some awareness to this and how judgment, whether it's you're judging others or you're feeling judged by others, can really negatively impact your business and impact your state of mind. First, I want to talk about why judgment is an evolutionary advantage. Our ancestors needed to be able to judge certain situations, whether or not it was safe, whether or not someone or something was trustful or trustworthy, whether or not someone would say, oh, this berry is safe, you won't die if you eat it. Would you have to judge that person to decipher if that you were going to trust what they had to say? You also were being judged by people as well, so that they wanted to make sure that you were what you said you were and that you were going to fit in with the community and be truthful. Because of this, we are very good at judging. And judging can be very helpful in your business, and it isn't a skill that I definitely am saying like eliminate and not ever judge, because it can be helpful. But when it's not helpful, it can really hurt you. Some of the way judgment is very helpful in your business is like if you judge a product line. You try a product and you say whether or not you like it. That is so helpful. If you weren't able to try a cleanser and a moisturizer or a toner and decide, yes, I really like this, or no, I do not. If you were like, yeah, I guess, and you didn't really have a strong judgment about it, that is not going to be so great when it comes to selling it. You want to have a strong judgment, like this is the best cleanser for my client or for myself or whatever, or there's like 10 other cleansers just like this. I'm not going to spend my money on that. That is a really great skill to have. If you're going to make a purchase in your business, judging whether something is going to be a good purchase or not. So I could go on and on about why it's actually a great thing to continue to have in your life and in your business, but where it may be hurting you. The first place that judging may be hurting you in your business is feeling judged by other people, whether it's real or imagined. This is what that looks like. You are afraid to post on social media, on stories, because it feels really cringy and you feel like people are going to watch it or look at it and be like, oh my gosh, who does she think she is? She thinks she's so funny. She thinks she's so cool. She thinks she knows this. She thinks she's like, what, a business owner? She thinks she's like legitimate. She thinks she's pretty. She thinks she's skinny. She thinks she's all the judgments that you may have for yourself or fears you're afraid people are going to think. So you are thinking about whether it's strangers on the internet or actual people you know judging you, so you don't take action. You go to DM a new follower and all you can think about is that new follower being like, who is this? Why is this person DMing me? Oh my gosh, that's so annoying. That's all you can think about is the judgment that this person's going to have for you. You meet someone out in the world, whether it's online, in person, whatever, and it seems like a good opportunity to tell them what you do. Like the conversation is flowing in that direction, but you're afraid they're going to judge you. So you just don't say anything. This is where judgment is hurting you. And I want you just to be aware of it when it's happening. I don't want to judge yourself for being afraid of judgment. That's not going to help. I don't want to shame yourself. But I want you to just be like, oh, this is happening. I'm afraid of something that hasn't happened yet. I'm afraid of the absolute worst case scenario of putting out a reel. The worst case scenario is that a ton of people are judging you. I'm not saying it can't happen. Of course it can. People are very mean on the internet. But it's not super likely, especially if you have a small account, which you probably do. But again, like reels do go viral to people that you don't want to, who can be mean. It's happened to me before. Sometimes my reels have gone not like seriously viral, but the algorithms picked it up and sent it to tons of people who like have a lot of snarky things to say. And you're like, oh, la, la, la. I cannot say that it doesn't wound me when I see it, but I make the quick decision either to delete the comments and or delete the reel if it's getting too much of that. Because I don't need a stranger on the internet judging me. And my brain won't like that. I can do all the mindset work and self-confidence work in the world, but I still have a human brain and it doesn't want to be judged outwardly like that. So it's okay to protect yourself. So you can just tell yourself, like, if you post a story and people are being horrible, you can block them. You can delete the story. You know, you have the ability to be like, I don't want to do this. I don't want that. I don't want any more attention here on this thing. It's totally, you're right. That is a very small chance of actually happening. The thing that may be tricky for you, which I know has happened to some of my clients, is you actually have been judged by your Instagram or you actually have been judged by your business. And that is really shitty. I'm just going to say it. It's really unfair. It's really, really mean if family and friends and acquaintances are actually making judgmental comments, and not perceived judgmental comments, not like someone asking you, hey, how's your business going? And you interpret that as they are judging you. Please, listener, no, I have interpreted it that. I've had people in my life ask me, how's your business going? And it feels a little not genuine. Feels a little sneaky, you know? But they aren't actually outwardly judging me when they ask that question. Just because I'm interpreting it that way doesn't mean that's actually true. So again, sticking with the actual facts. Now, if they said, oh my gosh, Brittany, I just saw your latest reel and it was so awful. You look terrible. Or that was not funny. Why do you think you're funny? Or a number of insults someone could actually say and judge me. That is a real judgment from someone. So I want you to like also separate what's really happening, what's really going on. Is it an actual judgment or is it a perceived judgment that may or may not be true? And it's better to believe it's not a judgment than it is to believe that it is a judgment. Does that make sense? Like, I did have a family member recently asked me how my business was doing. And I didn't know if it was a genuine ask. I really don't. I was kind of like, But I decide that it's a genuine ask. And I responded. We moved on in the conversation. Because if I had chosen that was a snarky, disingenuous way of trying to put me down, it would not have served our relationship. It would not serve me. It would send me into sadness and embarrassment and all these things that are not going to help my clients. It's not going to help me show up in my business. So I'm just choosing to believe that person was genuinely interested. But if that person was like, hey, I saw X and it's really dumb, okay, that's real. That's real judgment. So then now you have to decide if you have real judgment, which I know is a thing. I'm sorry if that's happened to you. Then you have to decide how close you want that person to be with you and evaluate if that relationship is serving you. I'm not saying to cut people out of your life, but I'm also saying that if someone's judging you left and right outwardly to your face, probably not someone you want to be spending a lot of time with. I know it can be tricky if it's family, but I just want to offer that to you. Okay. So judgment may be holding you back in your business because all you can think about is what people will think of you. But here's the reality. Not a lot of people are going to see what you post, especially at the beginning. If you have 10,000 followers, more people are going to see what you post. If you have 300 or 1,000, not really. All 1,000 people are not going to see what you post. Facebook. If you have like 10 people that like your Facebook page, you're not going to get 5,000 people seeing what you write. So I just want you to keep in perspective of like actually how many people are going to see this. And of those people who are seeing it, a very small amount are actually paying attention. And an even smaller amount is actually making a judgment from it. Whether it's a good judgment or a bad judgment. A good judgment being like, that's really interesting. They're so smart. That's such a great thing to learn. I'm really glad I saw that. Or who cares what this person thinks? But you have to decide. Are you willing to let some person, whether it's a person you know or not, don't know, think, I don't really care what you think, you the esthetician, to have the possibility of someone being like, oh, that's really great. I love that. That's really good information. I didn't know that. I feel really related to that. So you just have to decide. But don't let people who exist in the world prejudge you and prevent you from taking action. Because you know what? The judgments will be right. If you don't take action, the judgments are right. So prove them wrong. Take action. Okay, I'm going to talk about the other side of this. And this is if you are judging your clients or potential clients or people out in the world. Now, again, I am not saying this at a place of shame or judgment myself. Your brain is meant to judge, but we all judge our clients. The less clients you have, especially, I feel like if you have 3 or 4 clients, you're much more hyper focused on them than if you had 30 clients or 50 clients. Things don't matter so much if you have a bigger group of people. So if you're newer in your business and you don't have that many clients, it's really hard not to judge and take everything they say and do personally. It's so hard. So that's why I'm not saying this from a place of shaming you. I just want to, it's really hard. If you have 5 clients, one person late cancels, one person shows up 10 minutes late like they could care less, one person quits, that feels 3 of the 5 clients are not behaving, not being good clients, right? They're causing stress. So it feels really hard. You're going to have a lot of judgment and frustration. Now, if you had 25 clients and you had the same 3, that one that quit, one that no-showed, and one that was late, you would be frustrated, annoyed, not feeling great about those things happening, but it wouldn't feel so severe because you would have 22 other people that were coming to their appointments, buying product, buying, paying, money would be coming in other places, so it wouldn't feel so severe. I find that, and I found this to myself true when I was growing my business. The less clients I had, the more frustration and judgment I would have of them. So if you are in this place, again, just be aware of it. Don't beat yourself up for it. Just be like, oh, it feels so much more significant because I have less people. This person no-showing is so much more significant when you have no money coming in than if you have $10,000 a month coming in. Like, I relate. I remember someone no-showed on a Sunday morning. I think I told the story before on the podcast. And it was my only appointment that day. I was all set up for her. She didn't come. I like the pain. I can still feel it. I was so hurt. I was so angry. But that's because I was making maybe like $2,000 a month, and I knew I needed to make more money. I needed more clients, or I couldn't continue just not making money. I was new to my business, and I was like, this isn't, I need money. Flash forward to a year later, I had some people that would no show, and it was like, oh, but I was making $10,000 that month. So it wasn't like as significant in my finances. It still sucked, but it wasn't so significant. So if you were in this case where you maybe have less clients than you need, you're making less money than you need, and you have clients that do these things that are really hard, I want you to first really consider, is it you? If I had to guess, it's not. If it is you, like I've shared before when I was learning sugaring, like I know I left hair because I would just kind of get like really overwhelmed with the sugar, even waxing. It just wasn't for me. So I would have people come, people would read your book, but people would kind of fall off because I really wasn't that great at it and didn't really care to be that great at it. I was so much more interested in facials. So you have to decide, look at yourself from is this something that I might improve upon, or is this just this situation? And sometimes it's going to be different for each person. And especially the better you get and the more established, especially if you are established, you've been doing it for a long time, it's not you. If you have loyal clients, have been with you, especially for years, like if you work for someone else and then, you moved onto your own and you had people that always came and were very consistent and loved you, it's not you. So then you don't have to take it personally because it's not about you. Someone no-showing for an appointment or someone quitting or being late has nothing to do with you. And it feels really hard to believe that because it feels like it's not true. Like, of course it has to do with me. These people are not coming to the appointment that they agreed to come to. I get no-showed consistently on discovery calls still. Consistently. And I just know it's not about me. People forget, people, get the time zone confused. People get whatever. I don't think there's anyone that books a discovery call with me and is like, I'm going to book it. I'm going to have Brittany carve time out of her schedule, sit down on her computer, sign into the Google Meet, and then I'm not going to show up, and I'm just going to make her wait. Nobody believes that. Nobody thinks that. If someone does, whatever. It's like one in thousands of people, right? People have their own lives. People have their own things going on. People's kids get sick. People's cars break down. People, whatever, right? And so if you find yourself judging your clients all the time for not using their products or not coming consistently for appointments or showing up late and whatever, I really want you just to take another step back and be like, is me judging them helpful? Is it helping me get more clients? Is it helping me grow relationships with people? Is it helping me rebound from this annoying event of someone canceling or whatever? Because I know this to be true, especially when I had my business, acne business, started kind of getting more known and I was getting more clients. It wasn't as busy as it had gotten, but it was getting there. It's kind of starting to pick up. And I get new acne clients and I was so excited. And then they, just like they said they were going to give up dairy and they just wouldn't. And it was always this really awkward conversation. They say they're using the products and they clearly aren't because they're not running out of them. And it was so easy to judge them. They aren't committed. They don't really care. They disrespect me. But once I realized it had nothing to do with me, and me judging them didn't help them or me, it made it so much easier to be like, yeah, what college kid wants to give up dairy? It's going to be really hard. I have to have a lot of empathy for that and ideas to help them. As opposed to like this girl, here she comes in, complaining about her skin. I know she's eating dairy every 5 minutes. See, like which has more solutions? Which mindset has more solutions? Mindset of being like, yeah, it's super hard to give up dairy, especially if like you have dairy in every meal, of course. But like, how could I help and support that? Like, what ideas can I give this person? If I take it personally, like this person knows they can't have dairy, yet they're still eating it. They don't respect me. They don't think I know anything, right? Like it just isn't helping. Now it's like this, you're almost adversaries with them. It's like this like tension versus like, that's really interesting. This person hasn't been able to give up dairy. I wonder what it is. Is it there's, high school student and their mom, like they only have dairy snacks? Is it that in college they're so tired and they only have time to eat and dairy is the easiest, quickest thing to eat or whatever, right? Like, how can you help them and think about things? Sometimes the answer is there's no answer, right? They're just not going to do it. But again, if they don't do it, it's not because of me, and judging them is not helping me. Because if I'm frustrated and I'm judging this person for not giving up dairy, and then my next client comes in, I'm all in a huffy, I'm pissed off. That's not good. And I go home and I complain about it to my husband, I complain about it to my mom, I complain about it to my friend. Like, this girl, she wants her skin clear and she won't give up dairy. Can't believe her. Gosh, it's so annoying. All this energy versus like, oh, let me see if I can figure out like another solution. Okay, no, I can't. She just doesn't want to give up dairy. Okay, I'm going to use all the energy to find someone to replace her. It's so much better for you. And again, I'm saying this because I've been through it. I'm not saying this like, this is how it should be. It should be so easy for you. It's so hard. I coach so many of my clients on this. I spend a lot of time talking to clients about. And it's great. I'm glad that's what they hired me. It's like to help them through this because it's so hard. But once you get better at it, it becomes easier not to judge them, not to feel judged by them, but to be more neutral. Okay, that is it for today. I hope this was helpful. I'll be back next week. Have a great week. Same time, same place. Talk to you then. Hey, if you like this podcast, please rate and review on whatever podcast platform you're listening to. I cannot tell you how much that helps my podcast grow. So you can click 5 stars if you like it and you want to give me 5 stars. And please leave a review about telling me why you like it so that I can help other estheticians grow their business. Thank you so much.